evening, friends. Pinwatuni. Welcome to our broadcast here from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center. This is part of our ongoing program supporting your religious observance from home or wherever you are, especially during the time of pandemic and when restrictions apply. When gathering is not permitted, we hope this evening will be a fruitful evening when you sit down and participate or engage in religious observance that we share, so that you can not just develop your spiritual practices but also commit yourself, especially during the Rains Retreat program. So last full moon day we completed our Rains Retreat, and this month, or holy month of Kathina Robe Offering month, and viharas or temples around the world, Theravada viharas or temples, would be holding their Kathina Robe Offering ceremony before the next full moon day, which is end of this month. So our robe offering ceremony is day after tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we have a program lined up with venerable monks participating virtually due to pandemic restrictions or tier 2 restrictions. Excuse me. But in the morning hours, 9 o'clock onwards, we make offerings to the Attavisati Buddhas or 20 Buddhas of the past. The puja will be held in Pali and Sinhala. However, when you participate and attend, the merit is equally valid, because when you listen to or make the offerings, it is meritorious act in any means, by all means. So the offerings include the medicinal drinks, which we decided, especially during this time when everyone is experiencing a different environment. May you stay safe, may you be protected, may you be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem for good health. So with that intentions, we make the offerings. We also make the second highest offering of Attaparikaras and the robes. So Attaparikara is considered to be the second highest offering you could make in the Buddhist tradition. So it is, we also offer Attaparikaras to the Buddha and also to the venerable monks participating. So the finale or the offering of the Kathina robe will take place after the offering of lunch, which will be hope to commence at 12:15. So do participate on both of those events, and then the reflection or the Anumodana sermons will be done in a couple of languages, so English, Sri Lankan, Sinhala, and also Nepalese language, to benefit all of you who are participating and listening virtually and attending to the program virtually as well. So today is the second last of our series of Buddha Puja. Tomorrow will be the last one. So today the puja is sponsored by Mr. Tushara Fernando and Kumari Madavala. They would like to celebrate their wedding anniversary, and with that intention they have sponsored the day, making the offerings to the Buddhas as usual, and also sponsoring the chanting and the following meditation on love, on mindfulness. So we wish the couple, Tushara Fernando and Kumari Madula, every happiness, every success, and may every righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May you have a very good and fruitful married life. So with that intention we bless you, and we will chant suttas to to bless you with that intention as well. We are also joined by Mr. Metwan Samarsingh and Mrs. Vinita Samarsingh, who would like to bless their children with every happiness, good health, success and prosperity, especially the two children, Danita and Risita, who are in education. May the education be successful, may they have a very bright future, and as well as Yasaru, may his future also be bright and successful. So with those kind intention, they are also participating from home, attending to the program. So we wish you all every happiness, every success, good health, especially during this time. So not just the sponsors, but you as an online community. May you all stay safe, be happy, be peaceful. May you be protected by the Noble Triple Gem for you to be able to achieve and be successful in all your righteous aspirations. So with those kind intention, righteous intention, let us engage in today's worship and chanting, and then later on meditation. So please say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅgham saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅgham saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅgham saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi, Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi, Kāmesu miccācārā vīramani sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi, Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi, Surāmiraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vīramani sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi, Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkhitāṃ kattvā Appamādena sampādē tabbang. Okay, so let's worship the Buddha together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasarathi satta deva manussanang Buddho Bhagavati Buddhaṃ jīvita pariyantaṃ saranang gacchāmi Ye ca buddha atita ca ye ca buddha anagata Paccapanna ca ye buddha ahang vandami sabbada Natti me saranang anyang buddho me saranang varang Etene sacca vajjene hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang padapang savaruttamang Buddheyo khalito doso buddho kamatu tang mamang Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko Ehi passiko opanayiko Paccatang veditabbo vinyuhiti Dhammang jīvita pariyantang saranang gacchāmi Ye ca dhamma atita ca ye ca dhamma anagata Paccapanna ca ye dhamma ahang vandami sabbada Natti me saranang anyang dhammo me saranang varang Etene sacca vajjene hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang dhamman ceti vidang varang Tammiyo khalito doso dhammo kametu tang mamang Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Samīcipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani Atta purisa puggala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo Anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokasati Sanghang jīvita pariyantang saranang gacchāmi Ye ca sangha atita ca ye ca sangha anagata Paccapanna ca ye sangha ahang vandami sabbada Natti me saranang anyang sangho me saranang varang etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang uttamangena vandehang sanghang ca tividottamang Sangheyo kalito doso Sangho kamatu tang mamang Ganasarappadittena dipena tamadang sina Tilokadipang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang Vannagandhe gunopetang etang kusuma santating Pujayami munindassa siripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena metena ca hotu mokkang Puppang milayati yatai dhamme kayo tatayati vinasa bhavang adhivasetu no bhante paniyang parikappitang anukampang upadaye patiganhatu uttame Adhivasetu no bhante gilana paccayang imang anukampang upadaye patiganhatu uttame Adhivasetu no bhante pesajjang parikappitang anukampang upadaye patiganhatu uttame adhivasetu no bhante sabbang saddhaye pujitang anukampang upadaye patiganhatu uttame Vandami cetiyang sabbang sabbathani supatititang saririka dhatu mahabodhing buddha rupang sakalang sada yassa mule nisennove sambari vijayang aka Patto sabbanyutang satta vande tang bodhipadapang ime ete mahabodhi lokanathena pujita ahampite namassami bodhiraja namattute Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamami bante puripanya tathagata Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang Acayang kamame dhamma sanditthika akalika Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang Acayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara Ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya එත්තාවතා ච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සම්මේ සත්තා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමි බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා ඉදම්මේ පුඤ්ඤං ආසවක්ඛයා වහං හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු සාදු සාදු සාදු. So that is the end of our worship, worshipping the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and making the offerings. So today the sponsors, Mr. Tushara Fernando and Mrs. Kumari Madavala, are celebrating their wedding anniversary. So we wish them every success, every happiness, and very successful married life, and may all your righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May you have a fruitful marriage life. With that intention, we are going to chant suttas to bless you. We are also joined by Mr. Metwan Samarisinghe and Mrs. Vinita Samarisinghe, who would like to bless their children with every happiness, success, and prosperity. May their lives be very successful and their future also be very successful. The elder son Yasuru is celebrating his birthday, so we wish him a very happy birthday from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center and our online community. May you be happy, peaceful, and may you enjoy every happiness and have a very successful future, as well as a very successful and fruitful marriage life. The other two children, Danita and Risita, are in education, so may their education be successful and may that contribute to their bright and successful future. So with that intention, they have also joined us, and both sponsors parties would like to bless their family members with good health and happiness, especially during this time of difficulty. May they all be happy, safe, and protected by the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. May they enjoy good health and may they be safe. So not just their family members, but also you as an online community. May you be well, happy, and peaceful. May you enjoy good health and may you be protected during this time of difficulty. And as always, we remind ourselves, if there are any family or friends who are ill, bear them in your thoughts, wishing them speedy recovery and every happiness, and may they enjoy good health throughout thereafter. And as always, we dedicate this to our key workers, working very hard, looking after the nation, the NHS doctors, staff, and nurses, working tirelessly. May they have good health and happiness. May they enjoy good health. May they also develop courage and determination to continue the valuable services. So with those kind intention, we wish you all every happiness, especially the sponsors, Mr. Tushara Fernando and Mrs. Kumari Madavala, for to bless them for their wedding anniversary, and also Yasser to bless him for his birthday. We're celebrating his birthday today. So may you all have every righteous aspirations be fulfilled. Please listen to the chantings with great attention. The Ratana Sutta involves or embodies the compassion of the Buddha during similar pandemic, not as such nature, but during another pandemic during the Buddha's time. The Buddha uttered those verses out of great compassion, and we believe when we say karunya chitta, which means any person who recites this with great compassion, as Venerable Ananda did when he recited and sprinkled water in the city of Visala. It is recorded that all problems, all issues originating from the famine that they were experiencing warded off, fear warded off, and everyone started to recover, and even the environment and the vibe was getting positive and gain recovery. So at the end of the sutta we say, Etena Satchina Suvati Hotu, may you be blessed by the utterance or by the acceptance or by the recitation of this truth. So please listen to the chanting with great respect and attention. You will receive the blessings from the chanting. So we are going to chant Ratana Sutta, Jai Mangal Gatha, and Jai Paritta to wish you every happiness. So, Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Parittasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Parittasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Yani Bhutani Samagatani Bummani Vayani Vayantalike Sabbeva Bhuta Sumana Bhavantu Atapi Sakkacha Sunantu Bhasitang Tasmahi Bhutani Sameta Sabbe Mittang Karota Manusya Pajaye Divacharatto Chaharanti Baling Tasmahini Rakkata Appamatta Yankinchi Vittang Idhavahurang Vasagge Suvayang Ratanang Panitang Nano Samang Attitathagateena Idampi Buddhe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Kayang Viragang Amatang Panitang Yadajjaga Sakke Muni Samahito Natena Dhammena Samatti Kinchi Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Yang Buddha Settho Parivannai Sucing Samadhimanantari Kanyamahu Samadhinatena Samona Vijjati Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Ye Puggala Atthasatang Pasatta Chattari Etani Yugani Honti Te Dakhineya Sugatasya Savaka Te Sudinnani Mahappalani Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Yesupayutta manasa dalhene nikkamino gotama sasanamhi te pattipatta amatang vigaihe laddha mudha nibbuting bunjamana idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena satchena suvatti hotu Yathinda khilo pataving sito siya chatubhivate bhiya sampakampiyo Tathupamang sappurisang vadami yo varya satchani avecca passati Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena satchena suvatti hotu ये आर्य सच्चानि विभावयन्ति गम्भीरपञ्चेन सुदेशितानि किञ्चापि ते हन्ति भूसप्पमत्ता न ते भवं अट्ठमं आदियन्ति इदम्पि संघे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु सहावस्य दर्शन संपदाय तयस् धम्मा जहिता भवन्ति सकाय दिट्ठि विचिकिच्छितं च सीलब्धं वापि यदत्ति किञ्चि चतुः पाये हि च विप्पमुत्तो चचाबिठानानि अबभ्भो कातुम् इदम्पि संघे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु किञ्चापि शोकं मं करोति पापकं कायेन वाचा उदचेतसा वा अबभ्भो सो तस्य पटिच्छादाय अबभ्भतादिट्ठपदस्य वुत्ता इदम्पि संघे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु वनप्पगुम्बे यथा पुस्सितग्गे गिम्हानमासे पठमस्मिन् गिम्हे तथोपमं धम्मवरं अदेशयि निब्बानगामिं परमं हिताय इदम्पि बुद्धे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु वरो वरन्यो वरदो वराहरो अनुत्तरो धम्मवरं अदेशयि इदम्पि बुद्धे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु क्षीणं पुराणं नवं नत्थि सम्भवं विरक्तचित्ता आयतिके भवस्मिन् ते क्षीणबीजा अविरुल्लिच्छन्दा निब्बन्ति धीरा यथायं प्रदीपो इदम्पि संघे रत्नं पनीतं एतेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु यानि भूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वायानि वयन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुष्यपूजितं बुद्धं नमस्साम सुवत्ति होतु यानि भूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वायानि वयन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुष्यपूजितं धम्मं नमस्साम सुवत्ति होतु यानि भूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वायानि वयन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुष्यपूजितं संघं नमस्साम सुवत्ति होतु एतेन सच्चवज्जेन दुःखावुपशमन्तु ते एतेन सच्चवज्जेन भयावुपशमन्तु ते एतेन सच्चवज्जेन रोगावुपशमन्तु ते बाहुं सहस्रमभिनिम्मित सायुधन्तं गिरिमेखलं उदितघोरससेन मारं दानादिधम्म विधिना जित्वा मुनिन्दो तन्तेजसा भवतु ते जयमङ्गलानि मारातिरेकमभियुज्जित सब्बरत्तिं घोरं पनालवकमक्खमतद्दयक्खं खन्ति सुदन्त विधिना जित्वा मुनिन्दो तन्तेजसा भवतु ते जयमङ्गलानि नालागिरिं गजवरं अतिमत्तभूतं दावग्गिचक्रमसनीव सुदारुणन्तं මෙත්තම්බුසේක විදිනා ජිතවා මුනින්දෝ තන්තේජසා භවතු තේජය මංගලානී උක්ඛිත්ත khaggamati hatta sudarunantan davanti yojana patanggulimaalavantan iddhi bisankhtamano jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu tejaya mangalani Katvana kattha mudarang iva gabbiniya cinchaya dutta vacanang janakaya majhe Santena soma vidina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu tejaya mangalani Saccang vihaya mati saccaka vadaketung vadabhiropitamanang ati andabhutang Panyapadīpa jalito jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu tejaya mangalani Nandopananda bhujagang vibudang mahiddeng puttena tera bhujagena damapayanto Iddhupadesa vidhina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu tejaya mangalani Dungaha ditti bhujagena sudatta hattang brahmang visuddhi jutimiddi bakabidhanang Jnanagadena vidhina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu tejaya mangalani Siridhiti mati tejo jaya siddhi mahiddhi mahagunang aparimita punyadikarassa sabbantaraya Nivarana samatthassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Dvatting samahapurisa lakhananubhavena asityanuvyanjana lakhananubhavena Attuttara satamangala lakhananubhavena sabbannarang syanubhavena Ketumalanubhavena dasaparamitanubhavena dasaupaparamitanubhavena dasaparamattha paramitanubhavena sila samadhi panyanubhavena Buddhanubhavena dhammanubhavena sanghanubhavena tejanubhavena Idhyanubhavena balanubhavena nyaya dhammanubhavena Chaturasiti sahassa dhammakkandhanubhavena navalokuttara dhammanubhavena Attangika magganubhavena atta samapatyanubhavena Chalabhinyanubhavena metta karuna mudita upekkanubhavena Sambha paramitanubhavena ratanattaya sarananubhavena Tvihang sabba roga soka upaddava dukkha domanassu payasa vinassantu Sabba sankappa tvihang samijjantu Digahayuko hotu satavassa jivena Samangiko hotu sabbada Akasa pambata vana bhumi tataka ganga Mahasamudda arakkaka devata Sada tumhe anurakkantu Sabba buddhanubhavena Sabba dhammanubhavena Sabba sanghanubhavena Buddha ratanang dhamma ratanang sangha ratanang tinnang ratananang anubhavena Chaturasiti sahassa dhammakkandhanubhavena pitakattayanubhavena जिनसावकानुभावेन सब्बेते रोगा सब्बेते भया सम्बेते अन्तराया सब्बेते उपद्रवा सम्बेते दुर्निमित्ता सब्बेते अवमङ्गला विनश्यन्तु आयुवर्धको धनवर्धको सिरिवर्धको यशवर्धको बलवर्धको वर्णवर्धको सुखवर्धको होतु सर्वदा दुःख रोग भया वेरा शोका सब्बे पद्दवा अनेका अन्तरायापि विनश्यन्तु च तेजसा जय सिद्धिः धनं लाभं स्वस्ति भाग्यं सुखं बलं सिरियायु च वन्नो च भोगं बुद्धि च यशवा सतवस्सा च आयु च जीवसिद्धि भवन्तु ते आकाशट्टा च बुम्मट्टा देवानागा महिद्दिका पुण्यन्तं अनुमोदित्वा चिरं रक्षन्तु लोकशासनं आकाशट्टा च बुम्मट्टा देवानागा महिद्दिका पुण्यन्तं अनुमोदित्वा चिरं रक्षन्तु धम्मदेशनं आकाशट्टा च बुम्मट्टा देवानागा महिद्दिका पुण्यन्तं अनुमोदित्वा चिरं रक्षन्तु मं परन्ति साधु साधु साधु. So that is the end of our chanting today. So we blessed the couple, Mr. Tushara Fernando and Mrs. Kumari Madalo, who are celebrating their wedding anniversary today, and also Yasaru Metu, who is celebrating his birthday today. So we wish everyone every success and happiness. May every righteous aspiration be fulfilled. And also the sponsors, their family members and relatives, may everyone be happy, peaceful, may you enjoy good health, especially during this time of difficulty. May you be protected by the blessings of the Triple Gem. May you stay safe and enjoy good health. So with that intention, we bless everyone with great compassion and loving kindness. So before we go into our today's weekly program, meditation on mindfulness, I would like to just make a short announcement to those who might not know. This coming Saturday, we are holding our robe offering ceremony in the morning hours at 9 a.m. British Standard Time. We are making offerings to the 20th Buddhas of the past, of which Gautam Buddha is the 20th one that we know and worship every day. So the offerings include medicinal drinks, Aushadha Puja, especially wishing you every happiness, especially during this time of difficulty, for your safety, protection and good health. And also we are offering the highest offerings that you make, Attaparikar offerings to the Buddhas and to the participating venerable monks, and also robe offerings. So all of them, if you want, you can contact us to sponsor and contribute to the offerings. We do it virtually. We will offer on your behalf and we will dedicate according to your intentions. In the afternoon session after lunch, there will be the robe offering, the biggest offering you could do in the Buddhist tradition or Theravada Buddhist tradition. One of the great wholesome, or the first or highest wholesome deed that you could do, Attamaha Kusala. So in the 8th, the first one is the offering of the Katina robe. So that requires great dedication, not just the devotees, their commitment throughout the rains retreat, but also the venerable monks who observe a retreat, protecting their retreat and doing a great service to the community and the congregation, especially supporting their spiritual practice and the commitment during the rains retreat. And we have gone online ever since we began the retreat, and every evening we broadcast our worship, our religious observance, which also included a short Dhamma reflection from the book Dhammapada. So it was a successful rains retreat. So we are holding our robe offering ceremony next Saturday, coming Saturday, 24th of October 2020, 9 a.m. British Standard Time. So please do keep it diary free and try to attend virtually from Facebook and YouTube channel lmmc.online. So we hope you will participate and have a very different experience. especially and unusual because normally it is in a big gathering in halls. Last year we had over 400-500 people attending in our small hall where we held our robe offering ceremony. We had 30 venerable monks attending last year. So I'm still making contact with venerable monks who are able to participate virtually, but we are hoping that there will be over 10 monks participating. So please do join us on Facebook and YouTube channel in the afternoon session as well when we do the robe offering ceremony. And there will also be reflections or Punyanmodana and also Kathinanisana Dhammadesana in 3 or 4 languages. So please do also, so that it can cater all our participants from everywhere around the world that are also joining us. So thank you for listening so far. Now we are taking a very short break to continue with our mindfulness meditation practice weekly session on mindfulness meditation. So welcome back, dear friends. We are tuned to our weekly session. So today I will take a very short, I'll just make a very short reflection and then dedicate some time for practice. So just to recap what we discussed last week, it is meditation or mindfulness meditation is about generating awareness, conscious, or being conscious or being aware of what is happening, not just externally but also internally. So that's why we use the word mind, mindfulness of the mind as well. So lots of people think mindfulness is about what happens outside, what happens in your daily life, what happens in and around your environment that you are in. But that is true, but that is not complete. That is, so you can be mindful in driving, mindful in sort of cooking or everything. Even in your multitasking, you can be mindful of everything. But actually developing mindfulness is also more important, especially in the type of environment we are nowadays. So as you can see, it is a big buzzword, but it is about being mindful of your mind in a different way so that it supports your mental health, it supports the possible stress we could go through, or even the type of, for example, anxiety or fear that we may have, knowingly or unknowingly. But most of them, it is also about just to actually have a balanced mindset. So last week we spoke about how our mind can actually be deluded. So with that recap, we will meditate later on today. So we'll be deluded perhaps in a couple of ways. So we referred to about the type of mindset we may develop, the type of mindset that we have, and we did actually say that if we experience something or if we encounter something, there is always a thought process that might take place. Obviously it does. But that thought process or that thinking is again an opinion generated resulting due to the contact of your senses with the object that is either seen or heard or tasted or felt or even smelt. But we also added a new one to it, which is about being thought. So mind also is a platform for thoughts to arise. So when these thoughts arise, we refer to, just to recap, we refer to as the inability to be aware as it happens. So if we are not mindful, the thought processes can actually go on a long journey before we think, hang on, I have not been mindful, or I'm actually thinking something different. So to start off at the ground level of thinking, understanding, it is about the feeling, for example, or it is about the, let's say, daydreaming one could be in, or it's about the worrying thoughts one could be involved with, or the planning stage that one could involve with out of either anticipated fear or anticipated worries. But in essence, we are not actually being in the moment and being here now. So when you look at the word impermanence, we need to realize that you cannot actually hold on to that thought. You cannot actually engage in the thought in the way you want it. It is actually a recap of even your own memory. It is actually a revisiting of your memory. And when you revisit that, we fail to perhaps see what is actually developing within ourselves, what is actually growing in the mind unknowingly. Just like you're getting caught in a wave and you get swept, but you don't realize until you hit your boat in something else. We only be aware when actually we get stuck somewhere. So essentially, sometimes we only be mindful when the thought process ceases, or when actually the mind engages in something different from that particular thought process. So you've been dreaming for a while and suddenly you maybe hit your head or leg or hand in somewhere else, then you realize actually you are not in the present moment but somewhere else. So we do have to realize that in this case it is about understanding the nature within. And last week we did refer to that. Yes, everything arises due to the grasping of something. So sankappa raga. So you actually crave for something, you actually grasp. So when if every thought process is a result of perhaps something that you would actually hold on to. Okay, so you'd hold on to. So for example, you see a nice object, flower, and you have that picture in your head. And then you actually engage with it, thinking that is a permanent thing. So it is just a thought. Perhaps the flower may have also changed by then, and you engage with it. And you want it to actually be there longer and longer and longer. Right? And with a deluded attitude, what we do is, because we think it's still there, and you always look for that similar thing. So we are actually taking something that is not there and trying to regenerate it. And it happens. So in our worries, in our moods, in our maybe when you watch a telly, you always go for something. You always have something that you make this cross-reference to, and you actually start seeking things. So because of the ignorance, now we use here the word ignorance is not about the normal general ignorance. The ignorance that we are trying to refer to is the ignorance of the arise and ceasing, or the ignorance due to the. So if you talk about the Four Noble Truths, it is about the existence of that problem and the arising of it. So when you look at that theorem, it's about thinking that we fail to see the arise and we fail to see the cease, but yet we are holding on to it. So we are creating something, we have formed something, we create a thought, or we hold on to that mental thought, and that becomes the cross-reference or the filtering thing. So we fail to see that impermanent nature, and therefore we then develop some sort of longing, or shall I use the word prolonging behavior. We want it to last, we want it to be there. So it slowly develops judgmental goggles or spectacles, whatever you want to think of, something that actually becomes the gateway. So you develop a prolonging attitude. So when you see something, or then you judge that thing, wanting to prolong your thought. So you dislike a cup of tea because you have an idea of a cup of tea. You dislike a taste of a food because you have an idea of a food. So you want that idea to prolong. So you are using that to everything that you do next. So we might also the same process happens. In everything, in your seeing, hearing, feeling, and sometimes most importantly, the sensation is quite a thing that we get hooked into, a nice feeling. So maybe a breeze, and or any sort of feeling. So when you dislike a particular pain or dislike a particular experience, and that is also out of craving. That is out of craving, because you do not like it because you know there is something that you want. So you like that previous experience to come when you are experiencing this negative thing. So you have a conflict there, isn't it? So you are experiencing something distasteful, and you are developing a resistance by actually wanting something else. So we call that bhavatanha, something that you want to last. So you are what are you wanting to last? Something that's in your head, and you won't actuate it. You actually see it in a further. So we fail to actually see that is a thought, and we fail to see that this is impermanent. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to control. We're trying to actually control an experience that we have no control of as well. So then there is another ignorant attitude or behavior there as well. So it's important to be mindful in what goes in your head, not just what's around you. So mindful is not about just what you see here and there, but you're not mindful in your driving or just your cooking or your multitasking things that I said earlier. But mindfulness is about how does your mind work, and how can we actually free ourselves from that. When you to free yourself from it, you know that you should know, or you need to be aware that you are in it, that you are doing it. So mindfulness comes there. That awareness is important. Okay, this is the time this is happening. When this is happening, then we learn how to retreat from there. So withdraw or release yourself. The word would be renounce, nekkamma. You release yourself from that engagement, or you release yourself from that the prolonging desire or the continuity desire that we're talking about. So because your mind has a tendency to visit, it's so magnetic. That thought is magnetic. That's why you got hold on it. It has become an upadana. You clinged on. You held it, and you have that magnetic because your mind always goes there. but you have to learn how to renounce from there. You try to throw it away, it won't. You try to say, this is painful experience, my knee is hurting, my back is aching, my head is hurting. It won't. It'll be there. It is your interpretation that is trying to actually, that makes it worse sometimes. Because you personalize that pain. Because you have held to that pain and you want another experience. And then there is a bit of again, internal conflict which the mind starts engaging, and you might call it stress or frustration or irritation, anxiety, any all of these words actually show that sign of what the mind is doing, because the mind is doing something that it wants, not liking something. Can we see it as it happens? So being with that experience, when you see it as it happens, you are powerful, you are empowered with the choice to come back. You engage with it, then you have a problem, because you are then judging. You're always with this judgmental attitude. You always are judging things. Rather than experiencing the beauty of something, you are judging it. Let the beauty of the flower speak for itself, rather than your judgment speaking and making interpretation. In experiences such as, even like, most importantly, it's about physical pain, that I think this might be more clear, and even the thought process. You are engaging in something, all the calculation, all the worries, all the cross-reference that we make is because we actually are looking and developing this factor that we actually engage with. Just free yourself, get yourself out of that clinging potential habit. And therefore mindfulness is quite important, because when you see it happen, you need to develop this practice of developing or staying at one point to see how active your mind is. We don't see it happen, and that's where we can't choose. You can't choose when you don't see it happen. You already got caught in the wave. So mindfulness is to keep on establishing mindfulness in one, and learn and develop how to put it in that one point for us to start off with. Then you realize how your mind can be active. So then we can actually, as soon as it engages, you're mindful, okay, you come out of it. So you recognize what it is. Okay, so now this is not what I'm doing. I'm actually should be doing something else. So go back to your breathing. So recognize, release, okay, and return to your breathing again. Okay, so this was just a short repeat reflection, which I will stop with. So do bear in mind, all of these thinking processes, all of these experiences are quite not lasting. They're so self-created opinions and thoughts that we actually get hooked into ourselves. We create that and we get hooked into it. We create it, we get hooked into it. So all of the problems, whether it's this reactions that we develop, is simply self-created. So you have a choice when you are mindful, and that is the essence of it. Okay, so let us practice meditation for a short time, and if you want, what I will do is I will switch off because of my appointment. You can continue to meditate for 15 minutes. Okay, I will start off with the guidance, and then I'll switch off directly from there. So sit straight. So once you move a bit forward so that you're avoiding leaning your back, and have your body upright. Upright body is actually about balancing yourself so that to minimize your distractions. Right hand on your left palm so that you actually you have your body upright as well, so it supports your body from there. And then when you close your eyes, that is also another supporting mechanism to actually reduce the amount of distractions your mind could engage with. So, upright body, right hand on your left palm, and eyes closed. So once you are mindful of that posture that you have taken, quickly looking at your body, the way you have chosen your posture, the way you have posed yourself, you have to make a determination not to move for the next few minutes. So your observation of the posture is literally the determining point. So accept that that is the posture that you have taken, and you will be still for a while. So straight back, bent in the hip or waist, and then bent at knees. And simply that scanning itself is about being aware of how your body is posed. That stillness in the body is a reflection of the state of your mind. So let's be mindful and be aware of that. If your mind was wandering or restless, the body would not be in that position. So be mindful of that. So the mind is gradually stilling down with your determination and commitment. So it's not wandering. You're aware of how you are sitting. You're aware of how your body is posed. So you're establishing mindfulness in the body and observing everything. So gradually bring that attention to your breath, breathing. It's a natural process that we are being aware of. You can't see breath, but you can visualize the air that goes through your nostrils and comes out. So when you visualize that whole respiratory pattern, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. So just observe that breath. So when you breathe in, if you feel a bit refreshing, observe that physical reaction, because you have taken oxygen or you breathe it in. Your body may be refreshing. When you breathe out, as your body shrinks, you may feel relaxed. The physical reaction to your breath indicates how your mind is as well. So as you breathe in, refreshing. When you breathe out, relaxing. And you could purposely do that for a couple of long breaths to feel what I'm saying. And then when you breathe out, you can just notice the body shrinking and relaxing. Don't like or dislike what you're experiencing, but just notice what you're experiencing. Because there's nothing to like in the breath. Just need to observe as it happens, the nature. Breathing in, breathing out. Remember, if we actually like or dislike, we have been judgmental. So there's nothing to like in your breath. It happens even if you like, or even if you don't like, it happens. So don't form an opinion to that. Just breathe in, breathe out. Just observe that in-breath and observe that out-breath. And as you gradually see a couple of breaths, your breath can become shallow, or you can actually have an experience of a duration. So it can be a short breath and it can be a normal breath, what we might say. But should your breath change, then note that it is a long breath. Should your breath reduce the duration, note it is a short breath. So you have to train your mind to see those things, because breathing happens even if you like or don't like. The breathing meditation was there even before the Buddha, but we are trying to apply and learn what the Buddha wanted us to see in this technique of observing the breath and training your mind to observe the breath differently. It's quite different from the other types of breathing meditation, such as yoga or pranayama. So observe that breath and train your mind to see those things. If it is a long breath, know that it is a long breath. If it is a short breath, know that it is a short breath. If it is exhaling, the same thing. Are you exhaling in a long way, or it's a short breath? So identifying it as long and short, know it. So once you see this gradual calmness in your breath, train yourself to see this is a new in-breath, and as soon as you take that in-breath, you notice that it's finishing as well. New in-breath, and then you want to exhale it. So can you try to see that switching point? Breathing in, and by the time you notice that, it stopped breathing in. So notice the stopping of the breathing in. And when you breathe out, Notice when you stop breathing out as well. Note the start to note the finish. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Be mindful of that breath as it happens. Train yourself to see the start and end, the switching from end to the new start. Okay, so thank you for joining us. If you are meditating longer, I will leave you to meditate. So have a very good evening. Take care. Okay. Stay safe. Good night.